Greetings YouTube, Khundes here, and welcome to what would be episode 27 of this Let's Play in Europa Universalis IV for the Arms Traders of Brandenburg. Unfortunately, some kind of weird bug happened that had happened to me before, where my save, even though it's saved on the cloud, has lost Iron Man status. As you can see here where I'm hovering, it says Iron Man No, and there's no little gauntlet or anything. And in fact, I hadn't noticed that this happened, because the last save, it's no longer Iron Man, and as you can see from the state of the country, this happened a few episodes ago, and I hadn't noticed, which means progress has been lost, but which also means I will not be able to unlock the achievement I intended to unlock initially because of this. And I had put it on Iron Man initially, as can be seen from the fact I unlocked my princesses in this castle and the other Protestant one, This Is My Fate, I believe. But, yeah, so I don't really think I'm going to be continuing this if the save is not in Iron Man. In part because the whole point of playing Brandenburg in this situation was to try an unorthodox way of getting the achievement, but also because, I have to deal with a coalition nightmare that, while still very doable, does not make for that exciting gameplay if there's no, towards the end. I will, however, at least outline where I was going to go with this, because the idea was to achieve all your trade are belong to us without actually building a single lightship, because it only requires a flat 300 trade power in each of the nodes, which can most definitely be achieved by controlling centers of trade, building buildings, and just, being there. So I was going to build a bunch of heavy ships and conquer England at some point down the line, but in more short term, I'm actually going to outline my strategy just to see at least where the series was intended to go, so at least you get some sense of conclusion to where the series was going to happen. Note that this is not the state the country is currently in as of episode 26, because we had released 4 little snacks, and we had fed Novgorod a big chunk of Muscovy here, just mostly cutting them off from the east. And that is not how it is right now. But how we intended to go, essentially, is that there was going to be 2 more or less coalition timers. The main coalition with Austria and all of the losers down here, and the off coalition that includes Poland, Muscovy, and Sweden. And I believe the Hansa as well, and Munster? And the idea, essentially, was to keep juggling the main coalition and the off coalition. I was also hoping that all of these little guys here that I released would, make friends with some of the members of my coalition, so that down the line I could attack them for a conquest in the case of these 2 where my core is gone, or a reconquest for the culture-enriched Saxon miners, as I should call them. The idea was by attacking them, I would also be attacking some of the losers down here, and therefore I would get a way to get them out of the coalition. Having lost the coalition, I probably had lost enough aggressive expansion to get England and Spain out of my coalition, for a short time at least. That might change at some point and they might come back, but I figured the coalition would not be as much of a problem if it's only Austria and these losers. This is a lot more manageable, and I mean, as long as we're friends with France too, that was going to be fairly straightforward. So while we were more or less ignoring these guys and trying to pick them off one by one using my released provinces, I was going to keep eating Poland, Sweden, and Muscovy, feeding Muscovy and Sweden to Novgorod until eventually I would just annex them, and pretty much feeding Poland to Krakow, and eventually annexing them too. Hansa was a 1-province non-issue at this point, so we were going to just let them be, but eventually annex them. Yeah, and the idea was that at some point we would carve out, as we're fighting this coalition here, the point was to eventually, cut down here through this and get to the Italian miners, hopefully before France took too much of it. Clearly I wasn't fast enough since they took Lucca. But, I mean, eventually we would have come to blows with France anyway, but at that point the idea was to hopefully have torn up Austria into pieces. And by tear up Austria, I had my eyes on getting Pressburg and releasing Hungary as a vassal, and then feeding Hungary back all of its land. That was the idea for how to deal with Austria, because in a one-on-one, I could destroy Austria like really easily. And if I could get Austria without a coalition, France and me could definitely take out whatever Austria is allied to. I mean, in my last coalition war, I could run through Lithuania's armies as if they were nothing, so that they were never an issue. Even though they were really big and everyone dreads the common blob, Lithuania was never going to be that much of an issue for us. The issue was just when they were mixed in with my coalition and I had to deal with, like, everything at once. But we were gonna prevent that. And that was essentially how the rest of this game was gonna pan out. Eventually we were gonna annex Novgorod and then probably keep eating Central Asia, ideally getting maybe to India or China to get some more rich provinces that would have contiguous borders for us, which, yes, it makes them more expensive to core as opposed to making them distant overseas, but it also gives us more for, like, our investment of getting them. We actually get troops and money, like, in bigger numbers at that point, and eventually we'd be just, like, far stronger than our coalition. So that was how I intended it to go, and yes, I was also playing this game with the full intent of getting all our traders belong to us, and then to state cheesily as the achievement unlocked that all your trade bases are belong to us as Brandenburg. That was my intent. As for where I'm gonna go from now, since the Cossacks has been announced, December 1st, hype is here. I am going to probably hold off starting a new EU4 series until Cossacks is released, because clearly I don't have enough time to play satisfying campaigns, and I want to give you guys more satisfying campaigns. This was supposed to be one, but stupid bug here disagreed. So, yeah, we're gonna try again for something else that's gonna be interesting for you guys, I hope. Once Cossacks is out. Maybe a horde, maybe not. I will figure it out. I have a few weeks to think about it. Yeah, and in the meantime, I'm gonna try something different. I don't know yet if it's going to be Crusader Kings or try one of the shorter RPGs I've been eyeing to just play and maybe just make a Let's Play out of that instead. Branch out a little, you know, I'm trying that. I have more games that I play other than just Paradox's glorious grand strategy games, although some might argue, why do you need other games? I mean, it's always a good question, but there are other games to play and I do enjoy them, so I will see. I will surprise you, maybe, hopefully, in the very near future. And for now, unfortunately, I will thank you guys for watching and for sticking through with this, and I wholeheartedly apologize for being unable to deliver the satisfying conclusion I was striving to get to. But nonetheless, I will thank you guys for watching and sticking it out with me for at least those 27 episodes. And I will see you next time, whatever I end up doing. Have a good one.